Hey, good morning, sports fans. Louis Diamond back at you live in our Las Vegas handicapping studios, and it's a Saturday morning filled with plenty of football, plenty of college basketball on Bettor Center Live. And I'm joined with my trusted Saturday morning handicapper, the man that's been loading us with winners every Saturday, doing a great job with it, Tony Gullidge. Welcome back, Tony Gullidge. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Lou. Let's try to bash the bookies again this Saturday. Really looking forward to the show, and I think we got some good plays out there.
You mean bust the bookies with your Bookie Buster. So you got a Bookie Buster out there today?
Yes, sir. And they're 11-5. The last two Saturdays have almost cold pegged both games. 2 weeks ago, Alabama 45-10 was the call over Auburn. Final was 42-13. And then last week it was Ohio State over Michigan State. And I called it 52-16. It came home 52-12, almost banged that. So carry those two, looking for finish the trilogy here as the college football winds down. I think I got another big play and looking to bust the book again.
All righty. Tony has been tearing it up, and we are going to tear it up here today. If you haven't been out to bettercenter.com lately, get out there, because today that is going to be where my college basketball plays are. No longer on Facebook. I've moved them over to bettercenter.com. And also, Chip has a free play out there today in the North Carolina-Miami game. So a nice, solid pick out there. Winner, I hope, from Chip on the front page of bettercenter.com right now. And shortly, today's college basketball plays will be there as well. 1-0 yesterday in college basketball, making our record 99-68-7. So today I am sure to hit the century mark or better, as I have quite a few plays. I got at least hit one of them, I would assume. But more than likely, we're going to hit about 60% of them, just like we've been doing all season. So bettercenter.com. Chip's play is out there right now. It's a free pick. Get out there. Show Chip a little love while you're there. He's also got some he's got a triple play of winners for you, as well as some college basketball. And Tony, yes, has his Bookie Buster on bettercenter.com, as well as Ross has 4 offers for you out there today. Some college basketball and college football. So the picks are loaded up. We got plenty of winners at bettercenter.com. But, that being said, let's get ourselves rolling here with today's football game. I'm not sure what we got in the background there, but that's sure to go here soon. So we'll start with our first game on the schedule. Now, Coastal Carolina is at Troy, and Coastal Carolina laying 13.5. There are some 14s out there. Are you in the background, Tony?
It's not me, bud.
It's Chip. Is Chip joining us now? Chip's in the background on the phone. He doesn't know he's live. All right. No worries. We'll figure that out. All right, so Coastal Carolina is at Troy. The line 13.5, the total 51.5. Coastal Carolina, the big win last week, kind of nipped some of us BYU backers a little bit. And Coastal Carolina is your team. What are you thinking on this one here today, Tony?
Just a little regional thing. I know a little bit about this squad, Coastal Carolina. This is going to be my Bookie Buster play. You want to know who I like in this one? Coastal Carolina, mentioned it, BYU 22-17 home win, stopped them on the goal line. Final play of the game as a 10.5-point underdog in a game that was made up on the fly, basically to impress the audience. You know, a television-made game. It was entertaining, and Coastal Carolina down in Conway, South Carolina, came out on top against the pretty solid BYU team. This game with Troy, I was looking forward to it about a month ago, but COVID took it away. Now here you go. Coastal Carolina goes on the road. And if I, don't want to give too many details away at this point, but go to the site, bookiebuster.com. Troy as a big home underdog against Coastal Carolina. I really, really like this play, Lou. And you probably want to go sneak and take a peek who I like today. But yeah, this is really a big play, and I think I've got the right side. Check out that Bookie Buster at bettorcenter.com.
Well, you've definitely got me interested in going to take a look. I do have a certain vibe on the game. I'm not going to throw that out. I want the people to get a real vibe from you, because this is really kind of where your expertise lies. But I'm going to go find out if you and I are on the same side. If that's the case, then I could see me pulling a trigger on that side. So I do see some things there. So, but you need to figure out if we think it's a zigzag or not. So stop out Bettor Center. Stop out at Bettor Center for Tony's Bookie Buster. Didn't mean to start us with the commercial on a game, but
it happens. And that's the way the rotation fell this week, right?
There you go. So now next game on our schedule will be the Utes of Utah are playing the Buffaloes of Colorado. Now Utah 7-1 ATS following a straight up win. So they 9-3 in their last 12 conference games, but they are only 1-4 their last 5 games overall. And I will tell you this about Utah, which doesn't really play today, but keep it in mind. Road conference games. Utah is probably the best in college football. Road non-conference games. My bad. Non-conference games for Utah on the road. I'm pretty sure they are the best in football over the past 2 decades. So, but that being said, the Buffaloes are 6-1, or 6-0 on grass, 5 straight covers at home, 5-1 in their conference games. So, seeing a little, both of them come with some numbers. What do you see outside the numbers, Tom?
Yeah, from a handicapping perspective, this was similar to that San Diego State game where they had the put the game out there to bet on. This is a similar situation in terms of what I think the line should be. Again, I think the books are coming at it soft, not giving Colorado the respect. They're pretty clean. They execute, and they're basically a pick 'em again against a Utah team that, okay, granted the first 2 games were tough for opponents. Washington and USC, I believe, were the 2 losses, but they didn't really look that good against Oregon State. They came back home, got their win, didn't cover a number, basically a 2-touchdown favorite. They got out of there with a 34-28 win against Oregon State. I wasn't overly impressed. I can see maybe where people believe this is a trap, I guess, but I just don't see. I see Colorado being able to do what they've been doing, and I don't see Utah. I mean, I can see putting up a decent fight for the game, but when it gets down to nuts and bolts, I think Colorado should be favored closer, between 3 and 7. I just think you're really getting the value on the line. The play here is on Colorado. I think they get the job done. Pretty clean win. I was thinking 27-20, and you're looking at a total of about 48. So Colorado by about a touchdown here in this game.
All right, you'll be fighting a fairly decent number that I got to give a lot of respect to, which will leave me off of backing you on this horse. But the Utes are 22-10 in their last 32 road games versus a team with a winning home record, which also kind of plays in that non-conference game. West Coast team, when they get out of the conference, usually they're playing somebody stronger. They're usually a dog on the road, maybe playing a winning team. So they probably play in together. So it's kind of one of those spots for Utah where I just can't back them because Colorado's playing so well right now. I mean, they really are as far as the spread goes. They're covering the number, and I will not buck those trends on that. So I'm going to pass on this one. You are on the Colorado Buffaloes. All right, our next game on the schedule will face off against the Honey Badgers, the Wisconsin Badgers on the road at Utah, Iowa. Damn. A little early, guys. What do you want me to tell you? All right. The line on this game right now is. Why can't I find you? I got Utah State. Utah. No, we're on a different game.
-2. Wisconsin by 2, Lou.
All right, go
They're
ahead,
showing
Tony.
2-0.
Wisconsin, I'll get you some stuff. I'll respond in a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, this game here, Lou, Wisconsin, 2 terrible performances back to back. The 17-7 loss to Northwestern, and we had Indiana last week, right? I think everybody kind of liked the Hoosiers. 14-6, even uglier game. The Wisconsin lost, so they're 2-2. But this is kind of how I like to go against Iowa, a team I love as a road favorite. When they come back home and sit in this spot, for some reason they seem to play these games flat, Lou. It's just, and I'm going with that trend here today. I'm going to go against Iowa against a Wisconsin team that has looked pretty ragged. So give me Wisconsin. And look, the books are kind of leaning you in the right direction as well. The way Iowa's been winning, they covered against Illinois. They keep that. I think it's 2-1 this year. So coming out of a decade long where you'd be highly successful playing Iowa as a road favorite. They're 2-1 against the spread again this year in 2020. But at home they didn't cover against Nebraska. We were on there, I think, the day after Thanksgiving. That first early game, we had Nebraska covered in an ugly game. And this is what you're going to get from Iowa. They're going to be trying to muscle it out. And I just think that when you compare the quality of the opponent per se, I just think Wisconsin can do what they need to do offensively against Iowa's defense. Iowa's not that upper crust defense like they saw against the Northwestern. And I think Wisconsin moves the ball today. Iowa plays into that slow-paced game, and Wisconsin takes them into like a 20-10. So I like this game under as well, but my play here is on Wisconsin.
All right. Well, the Badgers are road beasts as they are 17-8. The last 25 road games, 14-5. Their last 19 as a road favorite. So you got that on your side. Iowa, 4-1-1. Their last six games this year. So you're going against a team that is actually has played some fairly decent ball, and you got a coach, though, with Iowa who knows the same thing that that they've been on the short end of the stick on some pretty good games. So that's in their head. So I would lean with you as well with Iowa, with Wisconsin over Iowa. I would have to agree with you, Tony. So we got a short little alignment there, first one of the day, as we will both agree with Wisconsin -2.5 at Iowa. All right, our next game on the schedule, Michigan State playing Pedo State. All right, Penn State -13.5, total 41.5, and another kind of a garbage game, but you're seeing something here, are you not, Tony?
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and take this basket full of points with a terrible Michigan State team, right? We hit the big bet against them with the Ohio State 52-12. But I will say for Michigan State, they will play the style of game. If the opposition isn't like overwhelmingly better, they're going to hang in a game. And like they did against Northwestern. Northwestern's offense was nothing really to write home about, and they were able to muscle up and stay in that game. I think that's what you're going to see. Penn State's defense doesn't really blow up my skirt either. I think Michigan State can muscle up against this team and kind of just basically move the ball on the ground, really safe, do the things that they're able to do. When you force Michigan State to have to throw the ball, they're horrible. When you turn them into a passing team, they're very, very bad, and Ohio State showed that in the blowout win. But Northwestern showed that if you allow Michigan State just to run their offense and you kind of run a bland vanilla offense to oppose them, that you can get things done. And Penn State, I just think this is an ambitious line. They're just getting their season going. Couple wins finally after the worst start in school history. But I think while they may get the win here, I'm not suggesting they're going to lose this game. I just find that it's hard, just the point value for Michigan State's too heavy. I think they're overvaluing Penn State at this point, simply based on the fact they're starting to win and Michigan State has looked so bad. But I think that's where the rubber meets the road. Michigan State and lose by a touchdown. I'll say Penn State by a touchdown in this game, Lou.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with you. Way too many points from a bad team, and I just can't see any way at all I would consider Penn State. But boy, with it such a high number on such a bad team, having such a bad year, is it really just because they've won 2 in a row? Is it because Michigan State's so bad? I have a tough time pulling the trigger on this one, but the underdog would be the only way I would go. The under would be the obvious thing that you would want to look at, but 7 of the last 10 games between these two teams have gone over the number. This game is a complete pass for me. So and that will just send us right to our next game on the schedule, which will be game number 5, LSU. Another team just absolutely terrible this year. Now they're going up against Florida. Florida kind of really stuck it to us with that gimme at the end last week. And they are now laying 23.5 under the key number of 24, because if you don't know, 24 is a key number. So 23.5, big number again for Florida, but this time they're at home. Now they have the reigning chumps. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think I'm all Gator all day here, Lou. I think, I had them in that disappointing, gave up the late garbage touchdown, and Florida did not play a great game. They finally, by the fourth quarter, they worked themselves into a covering position, but they left the back door open. It wasn't a dominating performance from Florida at Tennessee. By the time, and of course, when you leave that back door open, it's a coin flip sometimes at the end of these games. And Tennessee kicked the door in, lost that. That was one of the couple disappointments. Had a really good Saturday, but that was one of the games I did lose was Florida. I think they come back here. LSU is just, how can you say, defenseless? They're really, really not. You look down the list. I do like the fact that they covered against A&M. Kind of gives you a point or two of live value, but that was pretty much blown out the window with a 55-17 loss to Alabama. Yeah, granted, Alabama has made pretty much that's basically the same score Alabama beat Texas A&M by. So it's almost like it doesn't matter who the opponent is for Alabama. The scores are about the same. But in retrospect here with Florida, I think they really need to cosmetically put on a show here. And for me, that's the key. They want to pretend like it doesn't matter, but I know it does matter. They need to look good today. They're going to be at home. LSU is a team that's been kind of slapping them around for a little bit here. So I think it's time for a little payback, no mercy. When you get a chance to beat a team that beats you, you usually just beat them as bad as you can. You really no mercy. Florida I'm going to put out a big number here. I'm going to say Florida 45-10 today, 35-point win for Florida.
I was going to say 58-10. I thought you were going to throw out me, so we at least got the 10 right. So
okay, both of them 10. Hey, yeah, I like it. 10.
Yeah, 55-10 was a thought. So, 58-10.
Hey, 10's a good loser's number, man. 10's a good number. It's a good loser's number. 6 or 10. 10.
All right, so the double down on Florida after the bad beat last week. Let's go get that money back with Florida minus the 23 today. I will agree with you as well. And it's just I agree. I gotta believe that like you said, Florida has to put on a show. So hopefully that happens here for us today. And so we got a couple games left on the schedule that we are going to run here today. And we'll start with that next one. And that is North Carolina. And they are at Miami, Florida. Now, Chip has a free pick on that out at bettorcenter.com. And so if you want to go out there, Chip has something free for you to look at. Also, Chip, Tony, and Ross have plenty of plays out there for you today that they're really keyed in on. Guys, they have been making people money, and the price is $35, $50 to get you some winners. Cheap prices, nobody calling you, beating you over the head or anything like that. Just solid information with solid picks, bettorcenter.com. Like I said, Chip has a free play on this Miami of Florida and UNC game. And Miami -3 at home. And Tony, take it away.
Yeah, I've been doing pretty well with the North Carolina team this year, off and on, picking my spots. Was against them on Notre Dame. That was like my heavy hit. I was a Bookie Buster winner on Notre Dame when they won 31-17 against North Carolina. North Carolina basically had an exhibition 49-9 win against Western Carolina. Guess you could call that a tune-up for this game. And I tell you what, when North Carolina is the kind of offense when you're not expecting things from them, so basically in the role of an underdog like they are here in this game, they're going to come in here firing against looking to make a show. End of the season, why not? I can see this being a high-scoring shootout. I really think the 3 points in hand is going to be the side to be on. Miami looking to finish out strong, 5 straight wins coming from them, but they've kind of had a couple close ones. NC State was close. Virginia Tech, they really had to rally late, and they had a 3 weeks off, beat the crap out of Duke, so they had their tune up. I think that is where the line kind of got a little bit of value. That big win against Duke, 48-0 from Miami, kind of. I think this is more toward a pick 'em in my based on the offensive capabilities of North Carolina. At 70, I'm sitting here staring at that 70. I can almost say I think this going over this total wouldn't be a bad bet either. North Carolina is my play, and I'm giving you an opinion that I think this is going to go over the total, Lou.
All right. Well, could be a decent opinion as North Carolina is 11-4 to the over on the road their last 15 games. So that's a little
Yeah,
bit
they're
in
not
your
going to stop
favor.
anybody. Yeah, North Carolina's not going to stop anybody defensively. But I'd say at this point, I think they're pretty well greased offensively, and it's a kind of where if Miami's aggressive, they're going to go over the top. And I think those receivers from North Carolina really can do some damn. Newsome, there's a couple of them, Chaz Newsome, and a couple of kids. I don't want to butcher their names, but they really have some deep threats. And look for Howell to be looking for them. And like I say, a big game to end the season for North Carolina. Expect them to throw everything at Miami in this spot. And that total, I hate to put a total on this, but I want to say more in the mid 80s. So 45, 42 range, 85, 87 points. That's my gut feel here.
All right. And don't forget, Chip also has an opinion on this play over at bettorcenter.com. So he's got a free pick out there for you today. So if you're looking just for the free picks, they're at bettorcenter.com. Chip has that. Obviously, you got Tony's opinion on a free pick here. And I have a tough time having much of an opinion on this game, but the underdog is 11-4-1 the last 16 meetings, which plays right into Tony's hands. So, okay, so one last game that we're going to wrap, and then we're going to wrap it up here with our most interesting play of the day, and that is going to be the Illini. They are at the Wildcats of Northwestern. Northwestern laying a couple touchdowns, and the total is 40. So a couple touchdowns and a 40. So they're not expecting too many points out of Illinois today, probably 3. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm back in Northwestern here, Lou, and I do kind of low scoring game makes sense. Only way Illinois is going to really get a score here, special teams or some kind of defensive odd play. There is no way they're driving the ball down the field on Northwestern. If they get a lucky shot, I don't even know. I think Northwestern's back guys on the defense are probably good enough to where I can say they'd run down an Illinois guy before they could get a long pass play home. Total domination here. Illinois put up 21 against Iowa, but one of those touchdowns was literally garbage in the last 20 seconds of the game. I don't think Northwestern's going to be that generous here. I think I almost would say Northwestern's defense will score a touchdown in this game to aid the cause. Total's tricky with the 40 because it's going to be such a one-sided game here. I really like Northwestern to blow their doors off. 38-6 is my call on this game.
I think that's kind of a brave call because, Illinois has actually some things, some reasons to back them. They are 9-4 in their conference game. They are 5-1 as a road underdog, and So the road team has covered 5 out of the last 6 here. So I guess I'm a little worried about laying the 2 touchdowns.
My comparable, Lou, is the Wisconsin game. The first game of the season, Illinois played Wisconsin 45-7.
It was
And
an
I'm
close,
kind of
yeah,
using those two teams as a basis,
sure.
comparable style of play and strength of opponent. So that's kind of what I'm going with. Illinois can give you a game. I agree. And I've played them once or twice. And I'm looking down this list where I actually tried. I think I tried them. Wisconsin took an L first one. But the Nebraska, when they played Nebraska, I think we talked about this on the show. They were a
Yeah.
big underdog to Nebraska. So we took the
And we
points
got
with
cash that
Illinois.
money line ticket.
Yeah, we caught that one. Exactly. We did well with that one. I think this strength of opponent is what's going to make the difference. Illinois, when they're just going to be in so many 3rd and longs all day long. It's going to be 3rd and 12, 10, 3rd and 12 all game long. The mistakes are going to come. And Northwestern's not a great offense, but when you give them short fields because you can't move the ball, they're going to punish you. And I think that punishment is going to be a 60-minute beating. That's my personal feel on. I could be, 55% right. I could be wrong on this, but I got a good feel.
Well,
It's Northwestern's day.
all right. Well, you're going to have to buck a couple serious trends. They are team trends. Wildcats 3-8-1. Their last 12 home games, 3-9-2. Their last 14 as a favorite, 2-7-1. Their last 10 games as a home favorite. So I can't lay the 2 touchdowns, but you do make sense. It is logical when you compare the 2 teams. It could very well be that same type of blowout that Wisconsin had. So I will not be back in Illinois, but I will not lay them points. I hope you get your 38-6 score. Is that what you said?
I think that's right. 38-6. You nailed it.
38-6. I will root for that because that's exciting to talk about the next day. So hopefully it's 38-6.
It makes for a good highlight reel, I think. Now I'm being tempted to put a few more scores out.
I love the scores. I actually wanted to just do something where we just pick the score in every single game. Eventually, we're going to get to that. So, but I wanted to have legitimate score predictions. That takes a lot of effort for a computer program. So, and my computer program right now is spitting out college basketball at a phenomenal rate. 99 winners, 68 losers, and 7 pushes since the beginning of the season. And today, you will only get those plays on bettorcenter.com, the website, bettorcenter.com. That right now has Chip's play with the UNC Miami game. And shortly after the show, you'll see all my college basketball plays on that page as well. So, all right. So now it's time for the most interesting play of the day. So, Tony, why don't you close it out for us with a nice solid winner?
Basketball, Lou. I'm going to take Samford, the team I gave out on the show before. I don't think they made it, but I'm going to take them again here today as my most interesting play. They're getting 18 points against Georgia. I think it's a bit ambitious. Samford has a win already over Belmont this season, which is a nice little squad. So, and that was on the road as well at Belmont. So look for Samford plus 18 points to give Georgia everything they want today in college basketball. That's my most interesting play of the day.
All right. Some college basketball from Tony. And I tell you what, I shall do the same thing. I will offer you a college basketball game from one of my plays today. That is on bettorcenter.com. And all I got to do is find it on the board, and I will offer it to you. The first one that comes that I see will be the Miami, Florida Hurricanes playing Florida Gulf Coast. I'm going to lay 18.5 points. That line actually opened up 22.5, so the steam has gone against me. I'm not scared, guys. My college basketball is cashing tickets. Now, the one ticket, you got about 60% chance on this one here today. So go to bettorcenter.com, get all the tickets, and come on back tomorrow morning so you can watch some more free winners, great information on the NFL with Tony And I think maybe Chip will be here, and I'm pretty sure Chumley will be back. Almost got a shutout with them Dolphins. So he came out with a nice big winner for us last Sunday. Looking forward to see what he's got to offer us tomorrow. So that being said, thank you very much for joining us today on bettorcenter.com. And I will see you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Pacific, with some more NFL winners and basketball winners. Have a good day, everybody.